represents the best field yet brought together in the International's 11-year history.
1988 could be the year of Tim Hutchings. To date, as European and Commonwealth bronze medalist on the track, he has been the nearly man. Some of the best performances from the 29-year-old Crawley athlete have come at cross-country. Already a winner at Mallusk in '85, and favourite this time?
I won it, 3 years ago now, so I'm a bit older now and got a few more creaks and groans in me, but yes, I'd like to think I've got a good chance. I've only had 3 races this winter, and I've trained through all of them, and that and specifically Cardiff I trained through because I didn't really want to run that race. What with Christmas period having just gone by and my training having suffered a bit, I'll probably be a bit fresher on Saturday than I would otherwise be.
World mile record holder Steve Cram, out to improve on last year's showing, will be an obvious threat to Hutchings.
Crammy's been running really well on the roads. He's had some great races through the autumn, but his form on the country is pretty much under question still. He's never really produced anything really impressive on the country. Obviously he's somebody to watch. I mean, you can't write off somebody who's won so many gold medals in various championships.
Local hopes rest on the shoulders of 23-year-old Willowfield runner Dion Manili, who's already shown good form this season at the Kodak 10K in Bangor.
I was particularly pleased with that, considering I was really only doing 1500 metre training all summer because of an injury problem I had at the start of the summer. And that really just finished off my year really well. This year with the UK trial coming up, everybody's looking for a hard race. Roger Hackney, you know, seems to like the course, and I wouldn't write him off.
Mallusk is very much a build-up to the trial for the World Championship at the end of January. Do you think that you can make that United Kingdom team?
I haven't been easing down very much for any races up till now. Maybe
87 hadn't brought much in the way of success for Steve Cram, but the crowd at the Brooks International Cross Country at Mallusk on Saturday were in no doubt as to who was their favourite for the big race. It was the most competitive field ever for the first major athletics event of this Olympic year, and Olympic selection was uppermost in the athletes' minds. By the end of the first lap, the top men had started to stretch the field out, and it was Tim Hutchings, the 1985 winner, who was in the lead from his fellow Englishman Dave Lewis, and Cram, despite a calf injury sustained earlier in the week, was looking comfortable in 7th place. The pace set by the cross-country specialist increased, and Steve Cram gradually dropped down the field. He finished in a disappointing 17th place, which has prompted a change of thought about his training schedule.
It's almost pointless me now running cross-country races like this, you know, when it's so muddy. I just can't get going, you know, and the difference in my performances on the roads as compared to the country is far too great, you know, and I probably now just have to stick to racing on the roads, I think.
So does that mean you've ruled yourself out of any major cross-country competition?
For the time being, yes, and unless my form changes drastically for the better, then I would think I'll probably just go back and get training on the roads and just run road races.
First home was the 1985 English cross-country champion Dave Lewis, who finished the 5-mile race in 25 minutes and 22 seconds, 3 seconds ahead of the pre-race favourite Tim Hutchings, with John Richards a further 7 seconds behind the in-form Lewis.
I'm just happy with the way things are going at the moment. I've been training very well, and obviously I'm happy to win a race of this calibre. There's a lot of good guys behind me today. I still remember the summer I've had a very bad summer, and I'm trying to put that behind me now by running like I am today.
What are your plans for the rest of the season, especially thinking about the World Cross Country Championships?
Well, I've not made my mind up yet whether I'm going to run the World Cross Country Championships, but obviously, looking at today's performance, I'm in pretty good shape. But we'll wait and see. I've got the World Cross Country Championships trial at Gateshead at the end of January, and I'll take it from there.
Are you going to go on that trial?
Yes, I will run that. Well, I'll have to run that trial, yes.
Only English international Jill Hunter could keep in touch with Liz McColgan, who won the 3-lap ladies event for the 2nd year in a row. As Liz Lynch, she won the 1986 Commonwealth Games 10,000 metres, and although her time of 17 minutes and 31 seconds on Saturday suggests that she's capable of improving on last year's 2nd place in the World Cross Country Championships, Liz too has revised her 1988 schedule.
Because it's Olympic year, a lot of things are going to have to be sacrificed, and especially things like World Cross Country Championships. I know for the fact my coach doesn't want me to run there, but you know, if I have the preparation, I've got to do what my coach advises me. You know, otherwise there's no point in working with him. So I'll probably miss the World Cross Country, but I'll be doing an awful lot of road racing right up till June. so you won't see me on the track till probably mid-June. So you know, it's going to be a different year completely for me, so I'm just looking forward to it, and hopefully, you know.
And trailed in well down the field in 17th.
Mallusk was a vital tester as to form for the World Championship trial in Gateshead at the end of the month. The good news would surround a forgotten athlete. The bad news would follow a superstar whose winter plans would be left in ruins. Yorkshire's Dave Lewis, number 49, upset the odds to defeat pre-race favourite Tim Hutchings and revive flagging fortunes.
Tim was forcing the pace and I was matching him, and I knew that I'd have to get away from Tim before the last lap. I didn't fancy a battle over the last mile with Tim because he may have beat me, I don't know. I knew I had to break him earlier in the last lap. It's a long time since I've beaten Tim. He's such a tough competitor to beat. If you beat Tim Hutchings, you must be in pretty good shape.
Northern Ireland's top performer Dion Manili recorded his best finish at Mallusk in 6th, keeping alive hopes of making a United Kingdom team to the World Championships.
I would need to be running probably slightly better than that to be able to chance of making the team. If you look at the first few English guys in front of me, they're probably going to be making up the team. So I'm going to need to be up there with them. It's all on the day, providing I've no colds, don't get injured, and the training goes well between now and then. I think I'm in with a good chance.
But for Steve Cram, the end of the cross-country line?
At the moment, the way I'm running, it wouldn't even be worth me running it.